Hey, good morning. It's Mike Shunke with Berkshire Hathaway Homes and Shipton Properties in Scottsdale, Arizona. Friday morning market chat live with Mike, me. We're going to talk about residential, we're going to talk about commercial, and we're going to talk about the economy. Exciting times here. Then we're just going to touch on the truth. We don't always believe what you read. We'll start with inventory. Up a little bit again in Maricopa County and Phoenix in general. Scottsdale, we are down 4 single-family detached homes. First time down since the beginning of January this year. So 1,623 single-family detached homes for sale in Scottsdale. So, we're leveling off. Supply is up. You'll see that in the headlines. But demand is also up. It's interesting. Phoenix metro area. Supply, you'll see statistically, we're a pretty normal market now. Just as things come on and they're priced right, they go off. However, in 2015, the Phoenix metro population was about 4.5 million. 2024, the population's 5.2 million. So an extra 700,000 people. So you see that supply is about the same, about where we should be, but we have a more population and people still coming here every day. So that affects, and I'll say, we still don't have enough homes for sale especially on the luxury end, the kind of our market, 1 to 5 million, where we kind of play 1 to 3 million. We still don't have enough homes for sale, and there's still that gap. Sellers are extremely optimistic, and I think there's a lot of agents out there that are letting sellers dictate the price. Remember, asking price is just that. It's an asking price. So you can't comp against, if your neighbor is asking, 4 million or 6 million, you can't comp your house to that. You have to see what it sells for. And actually, we've got a good story. Last weekend, I don't know if you're watching, you usually watch, I think, but we made an offer. There was a Silverleaf, $6.5 million property. Wasn't worth that at all. I spent most of the afternoon last Sunday going back and forth with the listing agent. I said, I can't get to your number. We love the house. We want it. I just can't get to your number. And he says, well, do you want to see comps? I said, well, do you want to see my comps? And we went back and forth, probably 4 or 5 phone calls. And we got to a number, and it was $5.5 million. And that kind of soured my buyer. It wasn't perfect. Wasn't the perfect house at that price, and kind of soured him. However, a couple hours later, they dropped the price to $5.75 million. So, as a listing agent, you're there to inform the client. Everybody wants to get the highest price possible, sell with the easiest amount of time, quickest. But you have to be reasonable. So if we can prove the numbers, let's put it on paper and let's make an offer. Anybody can ask whatever they want. Asset price value is what a ready, willing, and able buyer is willing to pay. So missed out on that one. We'll find it, but there's 3 more in that neighborhood over 6 million. So hopefully those will come down. They'll see what's really happening. So you never know the seller's story. Do they want to sell, or are they just testing the market? And you cannot test the market in this. You can't test it in this market. There's enough buyers out there, and buyers are pretty educated these days. Contract activity spiked up this week all across the board. So we've got properties are going under contract. So, supply has gone up, demand has gone up. Still a slight buyer's, or if we've come into a slight buyer's market across the valley, you still have the Scottsdale, the Chandlers, the Cave Creek, Paradise Valley, or a slight seller's market. So it really is local depending on where it is. But I will say, if you're selling your property, it has to be perfect. Buyers don't want to do anything. They want to pack their bags, come in with their toothbrush. There's even a guy down in Paradise Valley. They are building homes, nice homes, $10, $15 million homes, furnishing them, decorating them, and they're selling. People want to come in, bring their toothbrush, and have their new place. Maybe second homes, but they're big numbers. But buyers do not. It's not like last year or the year before where you could maybe not paint the house, maybe have some flaws, and buyers would be willing to put up with it. Now buyers want perfect properties. So if you're selling your home, clean. I always say clean it. Have your cleaners clean it, and then clean it again. That's you'll be surprised. Especially, I'm always surprised at the $5 million range how dirty properties are. So you never know. But I'm not here to judge that. I'm here to look at the property, tell you what it's worth. We just don't have desperate sellers these days. Sellers, they've got a lot of equity out there. They're not desperate. They don't really need to sell in most cases. So, let's figure out what it's worth to you. What's the property worth to you? Make an offer. So that's how you get deals done. The luxury market has the up till from January 1st till now has had the second best year on record. Interest rates don't matter in the luxury market. 1 to 2 million in Scottsdale. There's absolutely no reason for your house not to sell within 30 days. It's price. If you haven't sold in 30 days, it's price. There's plenty of those, and I see them come on and go off. I see them come on under contract. So over 3 million for the residential market. Last year, up until this date, we had 58 closings. We've had 101 closings, over $3 million in the Phoenix metro area so far this year. So things are moving. Don't believe the doom and gloom. I don't make up the markets. The markets are what they are. I'm just here to show you what the comps are and find the best property for you. And the sellers hire me to sell the property. I'm not here to list your property and put a sign in and look all foo-foo. But I'm here to sell your property and tell you the truth. And sometimes you don't like to hear the truth, but that's okay. So, somebody will list it at some outrageous price. But on the buy side, we're here to find you the property that fits you, that you want, and negotiate the best deal for you and just get it done. And that is not always the highest price. Remember, it's the cleanest offer. Who's going to get to the closing table? So a lot of off-market activity still. Actually, an associate of mine, he's got $3.5–4 million in Paradise Valley. That's a home run. I would love to represent you on that. It's off-market. Give me a shout. It's a home run. There's $10 million houses in the neighborhood. So if you're looking for that, give me a call. We have 2 acres, and maybe you saw this morning over by Mayo Clinic, Desert Mountain High School, and we've got 2 $800,000 homes coming up. Nice places. Should be a week or two. One's going to be a couple because we have some cleaning up to do on that. But the other one's beautiful property. It's a small property, but it's great home. So if you're looking for something, give me a shout. There's a lot going on off market. Commercial. I heard somebody say the other day, the first quarter, we're at the end of the first quarter here already. There's a cautious resilience. That's about perfect. That's a perfect description of the commercial market right now. Transactions are happening. Sales are happening. If there's a deal, there's money to be made. But, there's money out there for your deal. But it's got to be a pretty good deal, pretty clean deal. And it's all about your access to funds on the commercial end. So capital is loosening up for good deals. It's the end user, I think, right now can get some decent deals. The investor numbers are pretty tight. If you're borrowing money, numbers are pretty tight. But it's starting to loose up again. There's a lot of private money out there. If you're a small business owner, buy your own building. It's a no-brainer. I'll have to call him back. Hey, Troy. That's good to hear from him. I'm excited to hear that. Anyway, threw me off. Anyway, buy your own building. You get depreciation on the building. You get the interest expense write-off. You build equity, and you have a saleable asset, either to give to your kids or when you're ready to exit and sell your business, you've got an asset to sell. It's not just your book of business. So it's a no-brainer to own your business. Give us a call. Let us know how we can help you do that. And like I said, if the numbers make sense for you, why are you leasing this and paying somebody else's mortgage? There's money out there. There's money available. We need 2,500 lights. I don't do a lot of leases, but we do need 2,500 square foot lights, industrial leasing out by Deer Valley. And we need 10,000 all day long, 10,000 square foot light industrial in Deer Valley. That's a hot market. We need that all day long. And I've had a couple multifamily buyers this week, 50 units and up and 100 units and up. So we've been busy. We're looking for a lot of stuff out there that makes sense. So, why invest in real estate over stocks? How's your real estate portfolio doing these days compared to your stock portfolio? You can control your real estate asset. You can clean up the property. You can make the decisions. In stocks and other investments like that, you don't have any control over what that CEO's decision is. So, and I love commercial. It's just numbers. And somebody said it the other day, when you do commercial and then you take that to the residential side, it's like playing basketball with toddlers. On the residential side, a lot of agents are just focused on getting the deal done. Or on the commercial side, you've got to think out of the box. How can we make this deal happen? How can we bring everybody together? And that's why we do a little bit of everything, because it's fun for us, and it's just it's a different mindset. It's like a broker mindset versus an agent mindset. Coco will tell you that. It's just a different mindset, just thinking, how can we get to the closing table and have everybody shake hands, walk away, and make it happen? And that makes it fun for us. So the economy, exciting times, right? Super exciting. I had a solid jobs report this morning. Kind of got lost in the shuffle. Like, I just saw Logan Matsushui. He's respectable housing and bond economist, bond analyst. He just said if there was no tariff talk this week, interest rates would be higher, yields would be higher. And that put it perfect. The stock market is not the economy, but we can't talk about the economy about these tariffs. Whether it's become a political thing. You can make a case for the tariffs being good. You can make a case for the tariffs being bad, but it's really, especially like on Twitter. I wasted an hour yesterday fighting with people on Twitter for some stupid reason, and it just comes down to what your politics are, and there's a lot of morons on there. Can I say that? But anyway, the economy, it's rolling along. The stock market is not the economy. You can't remain neutral if you're going to let politics get involved with the economy. Earlier this week, the media was pushing multifamily delinquencies and talking about residential. So I focus on the details. I don't play with stocks. I'm too old. I've spent some time in the Bank of America stock loan department in New York City. We were moving some operations from Bank of America San Francisco to New York, and we needed to combine that. Stock loan department is probably the most aggressive, stressful department job with a big bank that I've ever seen. Those guys are awesome. And, just because a bank buys and sells stocks for their portfolio, they don't necessarily own them. They loan them out, but that's I could talk an hour on that. But that's why I don't play. Stocks should be long-term investment. You cannot make money timing the market. You'll only remember your wins. You won't remember your losses. So, tariffs. I don't want to spend too much time on these, but we have to talk about them. The goal of the current administration is to bring rates down. Tariffs. It's like I always say, put your offer on paper. Let's start negotiation. That's all these tariffs are doing. The media can paint any kind of doom and gloom picture, whatever they want, but the tariffs get the negotiation started. And I'm not one to talk about foreign policy at all. I have no business talking, but I do keep up on politics pretty big. But 1 basis point drop in the 10-year yield is about $5 billion in interest savings for the government. And as I've said, we've got to get the government debt down. There's 2 reasons bond yields fall. Everything is good. Everything's moving along. Bond yields will fall because there's more capital out there for investments. The second reason bond yield falls is because there's fear of recession. U.S. bonds, safest investment in the world. Price goes up, yields go down. So, 2-year and 10-year, the 2-year, 10-year spread is a popular data point to fall, and they both dropped significantly. They both have dropped significantly this week. I think we had about 30 basis points on the 2-year and about 34 on the 10-year. So, yields are definitely falling, but is that because Econ 101, you're either buying stocks or you're buying bonds? People sell out of stocks, they jump into bonds. As they jump into bonds, bond prices go up, yields go down. That's really the only thing that's pushing yields down, because all the economic news and data we've been getting is pretty good. So like I said, employment number was good this morning. So, not much excites me. My job and it comes from working on the Board of Trade and that stock loan department and that whole investment field. My job is to get emotion out of the deal. It's to just be kind of your sane, what do they call, what is that? Something to bounce off. I'm here to keep, for rationalization, I guess. So keep emotion out of the deal. So not much excites me. I'm pretty boring, pretty conservative, boring, and not much excites me. So that's my job, and that carries over to real estate. When we're negotiating a deal for you, I don't have to live in the house. I don't have to sell the house. I'm not attached to the property, the commercial property. I just here show you the numbers. So, there's a lot of brokers and agents out there that want to get your business and will let the sellers dictate what's happening. But, that's not the way we do business. We want to work on long-term relationships. So, and, we really respect our clients' privacy. So there's that give and take. There's a lot of off-market. And, if you're looking to make a big transaction like that, just be careful on the Zillow and the Redfins. They're there. Remember, if you are not paying for a product, you are the product. So anyway, that's all just noise. Give us a call if we can help you buy, sell, land, residential, anything. If it has anything to do with real estate and you're looking to, if you have a question to how to work through a deal. Can I buy a property? Can I not buy a property? Is it good for me to sell? Yesterday we were talking with the client about what is this parking lot worth. So, it's just thinking through the process. So if we can help you, give us a call. 203-733-5877. Busy day. We got to run. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.